The new Ford GT. I used one recently in the race we had from New York to the Niagara Falls. And I'm not sure that on a freeway journey like that, I got the best out of it.
Yeah, you chose the wrong car.
Well, not really.
No, he's right, you did. Well, the GT was designed as a racing car, as we know. In fact, it won the first time out at Le Mans, and therefore, as we know, using one on the street is stupid.
Yeah, so you're saying I should have tested it on a track?
Yes.
Good, because I have done. There are those who say that on a track, the Pretty Boy GT is better than anything made in Europe. That it's more exciting than all of its rivals from Lamborghini and McLaren and Ferrari. Well, before I can find out, I have to stop. Right, now we're stationary, I can put it in track mode, which will lower the car gently. Not that gently. It will engage the anti-lag system so the power is always available, raise the rear wing, and stiffen the suspension by 100%. Good. So, now let's see what's what. I can tell you is this is not as delicate as a Ferrari. Ferrari is balletic. This is more like pogo dancing to the Ramones. This is hard and brutal and unrefined. When you're in a Ferrari, it's like you're wrapped in silk. It feels like you've fallen into a saw at a lumber yard. Don't think, however, that it's just a barroom brawler, all doors and no trousers. It is way more than that. The steering's brilliant, the brakes are brilliant. You get the very distinct impression that nothing in this has really been compromised to make it work elegantly on the road. This is a car for people who wear Nomex, not spandex. It's like the chassis is made from pure telepathy. You can absolutely wring its neck. Just keeps coming back for more. Why can't more cars feel like this? Then there's the twin-turbocharged V6 engine. Yes, the soundtrack is terrible. It just makes a noise. Of noise all of the time. And it only produces 647 horsepower, which in this day and age is a lot, but it's not a colossal lot. You can't help thinking a thumping great V8 would have solved both these problems. But they didn't want a thumping great V8 because they wanted the GT to be light. That's why it has a carbon fibre tub and an aluminium subframe. It's designed to be kept on the ground only by the weight coming from its aerodynamics. If you take that weight out of the equation by putting the car in VMAX mode, which locks the rear wing down, well, who cares it's only got a V6? Because the performance, it is blistering. 0 to 60 takes 2.8 seconds. Jesus Christ! And the top speed is 260. A Of course, the GT is not perfect. The steering wheel is ugly and difficult to use. The fuel tank is too small, and the body is too big. And yet, Ferraris and Lamborghinis and McLarens are very good cars. Make no mistake about that. But mostly, they're bought by posers. Now, this isn't for posing. It's too rough and too plasticky and too noisy for that. You buy one of these so you can go to a track on a miserable Monday morning when nobody's looking and do this. And you've got to love it for that. Do you know, the strange thing about that car is that I finished filming it, got into my car, went home, and I haven't really given the GT another thought since.
I think it's something to do with the fact it's got that V6, because V6 engines just aren't exciting. It's like they've got no personality.
Some are, but I'm with you a lot of the time.
I think he's right if they're turbocharged, especially, because then they don't rev. Yeah. That's what you want. You want that
It could be that. It could be the interior as well, which is made from that really sort of feels like shiny plastic, feels cheap and low rent. But whatever it is, it feels to me as though it hasn't really got a soul. But we must now find out how fast it goes round the Ebola-drome.
Right, here we go.
And she's off. Spoiler up, suspension dropped in full track mode as she makes a confident start onto the isn't. Knocking it down a gear for the first curve to keep those turbos spinning, and already looking on the raggedy edge. She's really not mucking about here as she flies into your name here. Ooh, there's a howl from the bespoke Michelins there. Now, oh yeah, look at that, smooth arc. Round your name here and then lighting the afterburners for the fast run back down the isn't. Not what you'd call a soulful sound, as we've said, but there's no doubting the sheer speed of this thing. OK, into old lady's house, taking it steady through there. Easy does it. And now back on the gas for what'll be a bumpy ride down to substation. Hard on the mighty carbon brakes. Neat through there. This is a Le Mans winning performance through Field of Sheep. And across the line. That looks unbelievably quick. You see it?
Yeah, skittering there.
It was properly, she must have been hanging on in there. Anyway, we must now find out where it goes on the board. Let's have a look. I imagine pretty high.
Oh.
Well, yes. 117.6.
A second or so slower than the Lamborghini, which is half the price, remember?
Yeah, but I think what that shows is not that the Ford is slow, because it just isn't. I mean, it's quicker than McLaren 720. What that shows actually is just how fast that Huracan is.
No, it's exactly, that's blistering.
Absolutely blistering. Unbelievable car.